Hi, it's Kaya. Can I tell you something? I've been scared to admit lately. I don't know who I am anymore, and that used to terrify me. But now, I think maybe it's not such a bad thing. Maybe not knowing is exactly where I'm meant to be. See, I used to feel certain about myself. I could say, I'm the funny one, I'm the deep thinker, I'm the helper, the artist, the dreamer. But lately, I open my mouth and I'm not sure what version of me will come out. I start painting and I don't know what it's trying to say. I look at my reflection and I feel like stronger I've been living with. We live in a world that loves definitions. You have to have a brand, a 5-year plan, a mission statement. Even your pain has to have a purpose or it's not considered valid. But what if I told you I'm not here to be defined? I'm here to dissolve and rebuild again and again, again. Lately, I've been watching how nature handles identity. The tree doesn't apologize for changing every season. The moon never says sorry, but not being full. The river doesn't cling to the shape it had yesterday. Maybe I've been clinging to a version of myself that expired a long time ago. The scary part about not knowing who you are is that people around you start to worry. They ask, are you okay? Why are you so different lately? What happened to the old you? But maybe the old me was just a costume that fits nicely, not tightly, just nicely, comfortable, predictable. I realize that most people don't really want the truth. They want consistency, even if the consistency is fake. But I'd rather be real and messy than polished and empty. I'd rather be misunderstood for being honest than praised for being numb. Sometimes I look at my art and I see pieces of all the me. I've been the me who was helpful at 15, the me who broke quietly at 20, the me who learned how to laugh again slowly, and the me who still doesn't know where she belongs. And maybe that's the beauty of it. We are not a single self, we are a gallery. There's a scene in this painting where the sky turned dark and the stars fall gently around the house. That's how it feels when I'm lost. Like the sky is breaking apart quietly, but not to destroy me, to rebuild the atmosphere around me. Because sometimes the darkness isn't a punishment, it's an invitation to rest. If you feel like you've outgrown your own skin, like the you everyone knows doesn't fit anymore, I just want to say you're not crazy. You're growing. You're molting. Like snakes and stars and versions of love. You are becoming too big for your old shape. That's not crisis. That's a blooming. And blooming isn't neat. It's just truth, the surface. It breaks old boundaries. It looks like chaos, but isn't creation. Becoming isn't soft and romantic all the time. Sometimes it's raw, trembling, quiet, in all the loud ways. But it's still scared. The people around you might not understand your evolution. They might grieve the version of you they know. They might guilt you into shrinking, into softening, into making yourself small enough to fit back into a story they've written for you. But growth doesn't ask for permission. It just shows up, wild and necessary. They will say you've changed. They might say it with worry or judgment or even anger. Let them. They are not the ones who have to live in your skin. They are not the ones who feel the hunger for more, for authenticity, for self. It takes courage to let go of a self that earned you love, to unravel from a version of you that was celebrated, accepted, praised. But if that version was built to survive, not to thrive, you own it to yourself to keep going, to find what fits now. You might lose people along the way, people who only know how to love the older version of you. That's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay through every chapter. Some are only there for the prologue, others just the paragraph. Let them go without resentment. Hold space for your own expansion, for your own unfolding. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend on the edge of new beginning, with softness, with bravely, with faith in the unknown. So maybe I don't know who I am anymore, but I know I still love slow morning and rain on windows and the sound of the brush touching canvas. I know I still believe in softness, in becoming, in trying. I know I still believe in the age that leads somewhere, in the confusion that become clarity if you sit with it long enough. I believe in the version of myself who keeps showing up even if she has no map. If that's all I know today, maybe that's enough. Maybe it's more than enough. Maybe that in itself in the beginning of a truer knowing. Maybe it's not about discovering who we are, but who we are becoming over and over again. I think we carry seeds of so many identities, and only time, pain, joy, and silent help decide which ones bloom. Not all of them are meant to, not all of them should, and that's part of the mystery. I want to be someone who chooses mystery, who chooses to exist even in the middle of unfinishedness, who doesn't wait to be sure before she speaks, who paints without knowing what the painting meant yet. I want to love myself, not for who I've been, or even who I might become, but for who I am when I'm simply trying. The version of me, the trying on, is the most honest. In the final moment of this painting, two little fingers sit quietly in a boat. The water is still, the sky is soft. They aren't going anywhere. They are just there together. I don't know if they are talking or just sitting in silence, but it feels like they are holding a memory between them, a quiet truth they both understand. I think they are both me, the version of me that once had answers, and the one who's now learning how to listen instead, not to the world, not to the noise, but to herself. And even here, with no direction, no definition, no destination, still the older remains, and maybe that quiet boat, with no map and no engine, is exactly where I was always meant to arrive. Maybe I haven't been lost. Maybe I've just been learning how to be still long enough to find myself again. Maybe we were never meant to arrive anywhere. Maybe we are just meant to notice. Notice the quiet shifts in our hearts, the way a color feels different after heartbreak. The way a soft breeze can make you cry for no reason at all. I used to think healing was about getting back to who I was. Now I think it's about becoming someone I've never met, but always needed. Sometimes I just in front of a blank canvas and I don't paint. I just breathe. And that breathe become part of the art, because stillness is also creation, because becoming isn't loud. It's listening to what aches, to what softens, to what wants to say. And I wonder how many versions of me have been buried beneath the pressure to be certain. Certainly is loud, but truth is quiet. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And if you're too busy trying to prove who you are, I don't want to impress anymore. I want to connect it, not with 1,000 people, but with one soul who hears this and say, me too. Me too. I feel like I'm shedding skin that no longer fits. Me too. I've outgrown rooms I once prayed to be in. Me too. I'm scared, but sometimes inside me knows this isn't the end. It's return, a return to softness, to curiosity, to making art that doesn't need applause to be valid. I think that's the new success. Peace, not perfection, not fame, not algorithms or followers or likes, but peace. Peace in your breath, peace in your pace, peace in knowing that even if nobody gets gift, you do, and that's enough. So if today you are doubting everything, your worth, your past, your place in this world, I hope this reminds you, you don't need to be certain to be worthy. You don't need to be defined to be seen. You don't need to be finished to be wild. You just need to be here, exactly as you are, with trembling hands and a heart still open. If you've stayed with me until now, I'm truly glad we found each other in this messy, beautiful world. Somehow, our paths crossed, and that means something if you are still figuring things out. Me too. Let's keep going, one breath, one brush stroke at a time. Thanks you for being here. See you in the next one.